Hey everyone, welcome to Willow's Whimsy. Thanks so much for stopping by. This is my series, Neecie's Journey to Better Health. Health meaning for this video, spiritual, mental, emotional, physical. If you watch my shorts, you know my head is a cluster. And I'm doing a series, it's my story, and I'm trying to go from pretty much birth through now, talking about my mental health and how it affected my life. And I'm trying to do it relatively quickly. I'm at 5 years of age now. I just shot the third one. And there has been so much progress and improvement. I forget that because I'm so shame-based. So it's always looking at myself from a negative instead of giving myself kudos, when I deserve it. Everyone else around you can cheerlead you, compliment you, praise you. But if you don't believe it, none of it matters. And that's really what I'm coming to terms with. I didn't shoot one last week because I wanted to lose some weight and be able to say, hey, I exercised and I ate right, and I didn't do that. And there's so much I'm journaling instead of blogging, and I made a list of all the things that I'm ashamed about with myself. To change all of this, change takes it takes knowledge. First of all, if I'm going to change this, then it's because I want to be this, If I want to be this, right, then what has to happen from here, shame, to here, success, thriving, self-love, all of that. So we've got A to Z, and you got to do B through Y. I'm very much an A to Z girl. I want to get there now. I don't want to do B through Y. When you add ADHD, when you add trauma, when you add OCD to a certain extent, shame. Oh God, shame runs this show. You set yourself up to fail over and over and over again. Insanity, one of the definitions, is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Hello. I write lists. I'm going to do it this way. I will add up the amount of weight I want to lose. So right now I'm at 178.8. I want to get down to 134. So that's what, 44.8 pounds. I want to do that in 6 months. And so then I'll, divide 6 months by 44, whatever, however many days are in it. This is how much I have to lose per day. And then I'm on the scale every day. And failure, 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 failure. And because I'm an A to Z without the B through Y, I never get to Z. It's very rarely. And what I'm starting to come to terms with, and I'm fighting it because I don't like it, is I can't change it all at once, you guys. I can't. Change takes time. So first we have to know what we want to change and maybe why we want to change it, what we want to change to, what that looks like, figure out how to get there and start doing it, and then stay consistent until that becomes the pattern as opposed to the shameful pattern. The pattern that causes failure, the pattern that causes self-sabotage, the pattern that causes us to just stop. And it becomes a vicious cycle, right? I hate vicious cycles. One of my shorts this week, I said, I am so fucking sick of myself. And I am. But see, because of shame, I can beat myself up for that too. There's so much that needs to change, and I'm getting older, But even if I don't get there, because I always say we don't graduate life. My friend Joe always says the journey is the destination. You know, in looking from terms to A to Z with change, Z being the end result, that's kind of a graduation. But life will always have journeys. And being on those journeys and being mindful and present of them and striving to learn, from them for the higher good and to be a better person. If I die doing that, I do die successful. I can say all these things to you, but I have to start saying them to myself and internalizing them. I am so full of self-knowledge, it is not even funny. Saying it is one thing, doing it is another, And in times like this too, with the economy being just horrific and my financial situation, some of this does require, you need money to live. And just the political, wherever you're at, don't tell me you're not stressed out. It started bringing anger back for me, and so doom scrolling and being on my phone is something I'm trying to stop. The algorithms are there for a reason. There's this whole psychology behind all of that, and I'm not going to lecture you and tell you what to do, but I refuse to be a slave, and I refuse to just believe something because it's on Facebook. Or believe something because it aligns with my belief system politically as opposed to something else. I don't just believe anything. And I think there's a lot we'll never know, and so you have to find your place in that. So there's a lot of things going on in the periphery that cause extra stress and can take my focus and attention off of what it needs to be on, which is this journey. So as far as weight loss goes, I mentioned 178.8. You know what my goal is this week? I just want to lose something. I don't care if I'm 178.6 next Saturday morning when I get on the scale. That's weight loss. I just want movement forward. I am done with these rigid ideas of how quickly it has to come off, how it has to come off. There will be changes, and I will pay attention and see what works and what doesn't work. But it also means a very high level, because I'm a regimented, ritualistic, OCD person, it's going to mean some mental pain, some discomfort, and I have to be willing not only to experience that, but perhaps to experience it for a while and move through it. On to the next part. The good stuff. I do believe in the good stuff, and I experience the good stuff now, and when I do, I try to say thank you to the universe and practice gratitude for it. I am a dirty side of the coin kind of girl. Can have a beautiful shiny penny. I flip it over. Because I can't believe anything could be that pristine and that clean. There's always got to be that dirty side of the coin. I'm going to stop looking for that. I'm going to work on that. And so going into this week, I'm going to very gently make a decision on some of these changes. Some of them just require me to stop, and that's it. Now there's quitting smoking, there's a whole deal with that, but really at the end of the day, just stop. I don't have to make any other changes. I may need to chew more gum or, whatever. Everybody wants to tell me how to quit smoking. I know how I have to do it. I'm very well aware, and excuse me, I've had a lifetime of trying to quit. I've smoked for 40 plus years. It's terrible. And I have quit at times and had some extended success, but always gone back to it. So some things I can just stop and maybe make some little replacements, but it comes down to just stopping. And I am journaling about all of this in greater detail because it is my hope that maybe in a year or two, if I experience some level of success, I will publish that journal. So I'm going to stop there and say thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it, you guys. I really appreciate you being on the journey. And I'll be back next week and we'll talk about stopping. We'll talk about if I had any success with just losing anything, weight-wise. We'll talk about if I got exercise. I can't make these rigid lists. The big thing I think this week has to be job search and quitting smoking, putting them down, and holding myself accountable to that. So I'm going to stop there. Yep. If you would give this a thumbs up, if you would subscribe to my channel, join me on the journey. I'm trying to create a like-minded community, so I welcome comments as well. Hit the notification bell. I would be so grateful. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I'll be back next week.